The Black Widow solo film has its first trailer, making this the very first Marvel Phase 4 project. Yeah, technically Far From Home was like the cap on Phase 3. Go figure. 2020 marks this new slate, despite this being a prequel. Look, we'll talk about it. Because this is, of course, a trailer breakdown. We're doing the Easter eggs, we're doing the references, we're doing the things missed, including new and returning characters, details on the villain, the time period, and various and other assorted things and the like. Also, if you could leave a like on this video, that would be greatly appreciated. It helps it to get it out there in the world. And if you do give it a like, I can promise you 100 cash of whatever the currency is where you're from. That won't specifically be from me. I'm just saying that sometime between now and when you die, you will be in possession of 100 of whatever the particular currency is from where you are from, or currently living, or where you will end up living. Anyways, let's all go and do this video together. I mean, I'll do it. You can just, after you do the like thing, you don't have to do anything. Okay, so this is the 24th film in the MCU somehow. It's directed by Kate Shortland, who's actually an Australian director, and the idea of a Black Widow film goes back before the MCU, when the property was at Lionsgate. In 2004, David Hayter, who was the voice of various snakes, he was being lined up to write and direct. But of course, when Marvel got the rights back to the character in 2006, there's been mutterings of a Black Widow film. The closest thing we probably have gotten is the Winter Soldier, but yeah, she's mostly been showing up in other projects. Iron Man 2, the Avengers films, Civil War. You've seen Marvel movies. But speaking of though, this is how the timeline works. Spoilers for Avengers Endgame. You've definitely seen it. But Black Widow is of course killed in that movie. As I've mentioned before, her and Hawkeye were in a competition to see who could kill themselves the quickest. She won, and now she is gone. And of course, because her life was exchanged for the Soul Stone, apparently she cannot return. I mean, technically they could snatch her out of a different timeline, like they did with Gamora, all those clones and life model decoys and whatevers. But this movie isn't going to deal with any of that. This is set after the events of Civil War. Black Widow seems to be on the run, out and about in the world, after assisting Captain America when he beat up that airport, and she's on a personal journey to discover things about her past. I'm really glad it's not like a prequel. I don't need a young Black Widow origin story. This looks like a good time period to set it up in, and it also means the return of some characters that we might not otherwise see, which we will talk about. Now, at the start of this trailer, we do get footage from other movies. We get a conversation from Endgame, how she built a new family with the Avengers. We get footage from Age of Ultron, including that flashback sequence that she has. The cover for Black Widow spy stuff was a ballerina school. But there's also footage from the Avengers in 2012. There's Nick Fury standing right there, Captain America and Bruce Banner behind her. We also get footage from the Winter Soldier. There's a lot going on. But that all builds into the Marvel logo, which morphs into this, which if you're familiar with the comic, is the Black Widow logo. These cars driving up here, I feel like they might be a different scene from this, but here we've got General Ross, de-aged, a younger-ish William Hurt. This might be actually the moment where she defects from Russia to the US. This event looks like it might take place in Hungary. These words, watch me give this a crack. Zara Foldis Tengeri Yoza. According to Google Translate, that's dry sea freight shipping. And that can almost certainly be trusted. The internet is bulletproof. So yeah, even though this isn't strictly a prequel movie, it looks like we're definitely going to be ducking back to that timeline. This movie looks to have shades of a number of things. Matt, who does a bunch of editing on this channel, he likened it to G.I. Joe. Remember that movie? I saw it on a plane. I thought it was fine. But yeah, these various identities. This is very Bourne-esque. Bit of espionage and the like. We've got here a Californian passport. We've got a European passport. This character would have stashed a whole lot of secret identities in order to escape at the drop of a hat. Here we get Florence Pugh. She refers to her as sister. They of course came up together in the Black Widow program. Even though in real life Florence Pugh is like 23, making her older than Scarlett Johansson. But I think we can make the leap in logic here that they're the same age. Them being a mirror image of each other, that's probably a metaphor or something. Because, you know, they were trained together. There's this moment here where they swap guns at the same time. Oh my goodness, imagine if the film was just 2 hours of them swapping guns, trying to get the upper hand. But yeah, that mirror image thing, though, it might reflect the villain, which you're going to get back to. This looks like, though, the area where her sister is hiding out. There's a map on the wall which indicates that she's looking for something or someone, probably past secrets. You know, it's that kind of movie. But also, interestingly, in the background, I picked up on some things. This is a poster for a famous German opera. But more importantly, and I need you to pay attention to this, because this is vital. This is some red circle, red arrow shit right here. That is a PlayStation 3 Rock Band drum kit. In good condition, that would probably set you back maybe 50 to 100 bucks on eBay. If you've got one, you could sell it, and then you get that 100 bucks I was talking about earlier. Now we get a few Black Widow suits in this. We get our civilian civvies, which if it's a Marvel movie, it's usually jeans and a leather jacket. No sunglasses, no hat though. Interesting choice. But one of the Black Widow tactical suits she's wearing feels very reminiscent of X-Men Apocalypse. That is to say, you know, ugh. I mean, it's not this movie's fault. This is what Black Widow is supposed to look like. If anything, it's X-Men that's been doing the wrong thing. We do, of course, though, get the other suit later. The white one. The origin of the white suit stems back to 2010 from the comic series Black Widow Deadly Origin. It's about, like, things from her past coming back to be like, oh, remember us. You've done some serious crimes in your previous life. And presumably for this movie, it's like a snow thing. Because, you know, you go to the snow, you put on a white suit so you can blend in. A black suit in the snow, that would be ridiculous. Why would you wouldn't even consider it. It's outrageous. And of course, we also get Rachel Weisz's character and the actor herself. She's talked about the character. This is what she said. She says there are quite a number. I'm a Black Widow, and there's Scarlet and Florence. There's quite a bit of other characters you'll also meet that are Black Widows. So yeah, there you go. There are many Black Widows in the MCU. It would seem. We even get some later in the trailer, though these look more modernized. Presumably this is like the new recruits they're moving through. Also, Rachel Weisz's character, even though it's like, we're all family, we bloody love each other and whatever, I'd say she's probably Taskmaster. I'm going to come back to that because there's two other things I really need to talk about right now. Superhero landing.
Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
She's, of course, not enhanced, so this would hurt like hell. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll just come off a step wrong and my knee will be like, oof. But here, she's crushing it. Don't even worry about it. And of course, here we've got a car in a Marvel movie. It's a BMW. It's not an Audi. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it. Are we in a parallel dimension? Okay, Taskmaster. Taskmaster is a bloke, generally. But of course, every now and then, you know, they like to mix things up in movies. Keep everybody on their toes. So that's why I think it's Rachel Weisz. There's some other actors that will appear that we don't see in this trailer. Could be any of them. But again, yeah, if I had to guess, Rachel Weisz. Okay, Taskmaster, known for a few things. Skull mask. That's good stuff. But also enhanced to the point where he or she has photographic reflexes. Meaning when fighting somebody, this person, he or she, can mimic their attacks to a T. Taskmaster has done this in the comics to pretty much everyone. Got all the skills of like Black Panther, Hawkeye, Captain America, and whatnot. But the idea is though, once the Taskmaster has mastered the tasks, they can then predict what the person they're fighting is going to do next. It's a hell of a skill. Presumably, it doesn't just work for fighting. You'd probably be really good at like MasterChef or American Ninja Warrior or something like that. I mean, the application, it's potentially limitless. All right, we get David Harbour. He's playing Red Guardian, which is like the Russian version of Captain America. Now, there's been a bunch of these dudes in the comics. Most of them are not enhanced. I think one, maybe two is. His version, Alexei Shostakov, is traditionally not. That being said, in this movie, he appears to be kicking the door off a facility he is exiting. Probably a prison or such and the like. Which makes me think that, yeah, he's probably got Captain America-esque powers, but maybe like a weird knockoff version, because obviously, as mentioned in this trailer, you know, he's stacked on a little bit of weight, but he's still got it where it counts with the punching and whatnot. Some versions of this character do carry a shield. This one, it seems, does not. But the Alexei version does have something like a belt buckle disc, which is a hurling weapon, which then magnetically returns. That being said, looking at this suit, which is very similar to the one from the first Avenger, by the way, that Captain America wore. There doesn't seem to be any belt buckle situation going on here. What we do see, though, is him fighting the Taskmaster, he or her. In the background there, we do get a shield. That's actually Taskmaster's shield. Makes me wonder, though, if Taskmaster, if he or she got their shield abilities from Captain America in a story in this universe, which hasn't played out on film as of yet. Who knows? I certainly don't know. Speaking of the MCU, though, he's not in the trailer, but it has been confirmed that Robert Downey Jr. will return as Iron Man. Yes, he did have that whole big send-off. They made a real big deal of it in Endgame, you remember. But this being a prequel or an in-between-quel. But yeah, it makes sense that he would return as that character, even if it is briefly. I mean, sure, we just got him in Endgame, and he was featured pretty heavily in Far From Home, but now he's back. I also wouldn't be surprised if he comes back in future movies. I've talked about this before in videos, but it's like an AI or a time travel thing or clone or whatever. You know what he's like. That guy he's never going to die. He's never going to stop. Anyways, is there anything that I've missed from this trailer? No doubt that there is. You got any theories on this movie? Anything at all? Could be related to Taskmaster. Do you think I'm right about Taskmaster? Who is the Taskmaster? Who would be the one mastering these tasks? Leave that below in the comments if you like. That actually really helps out the video also. Also, if you like, share it around or whatever. Do people do that? Do people share things on social media? Do you ever like see a trailer breakdown and go, oh my God, oh my friends, you have to see this trailer breakdown? Nobody does that, right? That cannot be something people do. Anyways, you can subscribe because there's videos here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Recently, I put out a retrospective, a 30-minute plus mini documentary on Shadows of the Empire, which was this amazing Star Wars project from like the mid-90s. You might have heard of it, but it's like pre-Disney, the prequels. It's this really interesting point in time for Star Wars, and there's some really cool 3D recreations of scenes that I got made for it. It's so cinematic. It's a beautiful situation. Anyways, if you could check that out, I'll link it at the end and below. But also, of course, I have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. And this upcoming episode comes out every Monday morning. We'll be talking about the Black Widow trailer. We'll be talking about that new Bond trailer probably. Apparently there's going to be a Ghostbusters trailer soon. And also a Wonder Woman trailer. It's a bloody trailer bonanza. Trailers ahoy, everybody. So yeah, that's linked below also. But thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys later. Have a good time. Have a good day. Take care.